إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا من سيئات أعمالنا ما يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وبعد. You know, when you come into Islam, when you start practicing, it's like comes like I am a new Muslim. When you come into Islam, you realize what an extremely big blessing it is, right? And even a lot of Muslims, they realize what a big blessing it is to actually be Muslim, right? And after you come to Islam, once you start realizing what the Sunnah is, that's another big blessing. And sometimes Allah will test you with personalities to see what you're going to follow, if you're going to follow the Sunnah or if you're going to follow the personality. And sometimes Allah will test you with yourself to see whether or not you're going to follow the Sunnah or you're going to follow your own desires. So now we have this fitna. Fitna has been broken wide open by the brother Shamsi. He started off refuting Ali Dawah, and he started off refuting Muhammad Hijab. And I don't want anybody to think that I have something personal against Shamsi. I don't. I've watched many of his videos. I love his videos. It's nothing personal. Like this brother, he says it's nothing personal. For him, yes, it's personal, 100%. Because if he paid attention to any of the criticism, everybody that criticizes Shamsi always says the same thing. Yeah, hey, you're getting too emotional. Yeah, hey, you're cutting people off. They always say the same thing. If you want to criticize people, you have to be able to take criticism. And he broke this door wide open with refutations. Like we haven't seen it before. Us older brothers, we haven't seen it before. What he doesn't realize is that when we tell him something, it's not because it's for us. It's not because we want bid'ah to spread. It's because we've been there, done that. I used to be Shamsi. You know how many of us older brothers were doing exactly what Shamsi was doing 20 years ago? Do you know many of us were defending Abu Khadija for years? Years we were defending Abu Khadija. Years we were defending spubs. Until we couldn't do it anymore. Let me ask you something, Shamsi. I was there when Sheikh Fawzi Al-Athari came to Canada and Abu Khadija and Abu Hakim came to my house for the conference. Let us backbite for an hour for the sake of Allah. Were you there? I was there when QSS was bringing the Jordanians, and there was a big split between QSS, Troy, KBW, Spubs, and QSS was like, we should just unite. We should just unite. And we were like, no, we shouldn't unite. Were you there? I was there when we were refuting people everywhere we went, based upon who sits with Abul Hassan Marabi. And Abul Hassan Marabi wasn't even known in North America, but yet we would write people off just like that. Nobody knew who he was in North America, but we would write him up saying, you were on the manhaj of Abul Hassan Marabi. Why? Why were we doing that? Because our older brothers, like Abu Khadija, were telling us to do this. Were you there? So now we're telling you something. We're telling you, look, this has already been done. It's nothing new. All you're going to do is split the Muslims. That's all you're going to do, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Who put you in charge of refuting Hajji? Who did that? Even if he's Khariji. Let's say that he is Khariji. And I don't hold the opinion that he is. But let's say that he is. Who gave you the position that you're in to go and refute him? Did you see what happened in that debate that you had with him? Did you see all the damage that you did? And the funny thing is, Hajji gave you a way out by your own admission. He gave you an out. He told you that he didn't want to debate. His belief was hidden. Nobody knew. You're the one who brought it into the forefront. You're the one who brought it to light. And you're the one who got into argument with him and got embarrassed for the whole world to see. Everybody saw what happened. Even though I hold the same beliefs as you. I personally thought that Hajji was wrong. And I said that he's wrong. He's right in some, he's wrong in some. But I didn't call him Khariji. You called him Khariji. Splitting the Muslims again. And what is Dawah man coming into this conversation for? Almost 2.5 hours. Why are you inviting yourself, Dawah man? Do you know Jahl wa Ta'dil, what that is? Do you know what that is? That is removing the honor of another Muslim. That is taking the honor of another Muslim. Do you know how serious that thing is? When you have to remove the honor of another Muslim? Do you not read hadith? Do you not know the hadith of eating the flesh of your dead brothers? Because you'll be breaking in Ramadan, you guys are breaking your fast with the dead flesh of your brothers. Yes, Hajji said, Madakhila and Jamia. I heard it. So everybody that says Madakhila and Jamia, you're going to refute? Every single person that says this? Do you realize how many people don't like Sheikh Rabi? Do you realize how many people don't like Muhammad al-Man al-Jami? Do you realize how many people don't like Sheikh al-Albani and Sheikh bin Baz? And every single one of you are going to fight because they have a problem with them? Why don't you just give them dawah, akhi? Give them dawah. If he has a problem with Sheikh Muhammad al-Man al-Jami and Sheikh Rabi, get an alim that both of you can agree on. You have the Arabic language. Why are you sitting with Abu Khadija? I don't know. Get an alim. Call them up. And why are you doing this in public anyway? Why are you doing this in public? That makes no sense. You yourself, you understand that you're not supposed to be, if you believe that he's Ahlul Bidah, why are you debating him in public? Why? And Dawah, why are you coming to this conversation? Why? Like, why? The only person that I respect out of this whole thing is Ustad Abdul Rahman Hassan. He's the only one that came with an academic explanation of the belief of the Salaf when it comes to Khuruj. Look at how many Muslim youth are on your pages fighting each other, fighting for this. Yeah, Shamsi, the Haqqas was Shamsi, and this Jahil is a Khariji. No, he's not a Khariji, and you're a Madkhali, and you're a Who started all this? In Ramadan. That is on your head. Wallah, it's on your head, and Yawm al-Qiyamah, you're going to see that. Wallah al-Azim. You don't know how many people don't love Sheikh Rabi'. And just because we love Sheikh Rabi' and we love Muhammad al-Man al-Jami, we love Sheikh bin Baz and Sheikh Albani, right? Our religion is not based upon any of them. If the people hate them, get them an alim that they love. And let the alim that they love tell them about those shayukh. You know how many ulama we still have alive today? And you're having the people coming to you doing these refutations? Don't you have any shame before Allah and His angels and the jinn and mankind? Don't you have any ghira for the religion? Where's the ghira for religion, akhi? It's more important to hold your reputation. It's more important to hold your reputation intact than it is to keep the Muslims united. This is more important to you. And for me personally, I don't care who hates me. As long as Allah is pleased with me, I don't care who hates me after that. I don't. And that should be your attitude. Why do you care so much if Hajji is a Khariji? If he is a Khariji, his belief was hidden until you opened it up. You did that. If you have to refute every single person who has a bid'ah with them, you have to refute Imam al-Nawawi, you have to refute Ibn Hajar Asqalani, you have to refute Imam Suyuti, you have to refute so many ulama, so many. I see you on Speaker's Corner, and you're using the tactics of Ahmed Didat. Is he Salafi? Is Ahmed Didat Salafi? Why are you using his tactics then? Why? You need to think before you speak, ya akhi. Just because you can read Arabic and get into books, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to speak. If silence is silver, if speaking is silver, silence is golden. Don't forget that. You gave some statement from Shaykh Islam Ibn Taymiyyah. If everybody has to throw rocks at barking dogs, if you throw a rock at a dog every time a dog barks, then the rocks will get expensive. This applies to you directly. If you're going to criticize, take criticism. Take it. Because we're not telling you this because we are cottagey. We're not. I'm not cottagey. I'm not. I'm telling you this because I love you as a brother. This is what akhuwa is. Real akhuwa. If you want good for your brother, imagine if Hajji was your blood brother now. You're telling me, oh, he's my brother in Islam. This is all like disingenuous. If he was your real brother, your blood brother, would you do that? All the time you mention about how you used to be Sufi, right? Imagine if you came to you like that as a Sufi. This Sufi, this. And I'm gonna leave you guys with this. This is a true story, and it happened yesterday. Okay. Wallahi, this happened. Since I mentioned this, as I mentioned before, my local masjid is a Sufi masjid. Okay? It's a Sufi masjid. And my kids, they basically, I went on the first of Ramadan there, and my kids, they said, that's it. We're not coming to this masjid anymore. It's the closest masjid to me. I want to go to make salah. Right? Even my kids, they won't even go there. So now when I want to go to take my kids, I have to go to a far masjid, far, right? But if I just want to pray locally, I'll go to this masjid and pray, right? So I went there yesterday for Jumu'ah, and they were asking, we haven't seen your kids for a long time. Like, where are they? And I told the brother straight up, yeah, you scared my kids away. He said, what? I go, yes. You scared my kids away. He goes, why? He goes, because of all the bid'ah that you guys are doing, right? He goes, no, Akhi, it's not. But you know how the Sufis are. Oh, it's not bid'ah. They want to convince you that they're upon the Sunnah. I said, okay, Akhi. If it's the Sunnah, like you say it's the Sunnah, ala khashmi, no problem. Bring me a hadith or how the Sahaba did it. If it's authentic, I'll accept it, no problem. You know why? Because this is Salafiyah. This is Salafiyah. Shaykh Al-Bani, rahimahullah, he always used to say, look into the books without being for Amr and being against Zayd.
بس أنت أقرأ الكتاب بروي إمعان لا مع زيد ولا على عمرو وإنما مع الحق حيثما كان. إن شاء الله يحفظ أسلوبا وغاية. إن شاء الله.
Look to the books with an open mind. Speak to the people with an open mind. That's it, right? So, and I went with a brother and I started talking to him. I left and I came and he told me to talk to the Sheikh Hamdi. Sheikh Hamdi, he came back this Ramadan. I never spoke to him, but this is like the big imam at that Sufi masjid, right? And I don't make any, I don't hide my Salafiyah from the people. I tell them that I'm Salafi, but they can't believe it because of my good manners. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing that they think that every single time they see a Salafi, they see a bad-mannered, angry person. It's embarrassing. How are you not embarrassed for this? How? So now, I come back to the masjid, right? Because he invited me to talk to Sheikh Hamdi, right? So I went back, and Sheikh Hamdi came, the Sufi Sheikh, and remember, this is a big masjid. I'm calling him Sheikh Hamdi just because he's not my Sheikh, okay? That's what the people call him, okay? So Hamdi, we'll call him Hamdi, right? So I go back, and I think the brother, he told Hamdi what I said, right? And he told him, yeah, this is a Salafi guy, right? And whatnot. So Hamdi, he came up to me, And he asked me, where are the kids and blah, blah, blah. And I told him, I said, Wallah, ya Sheikh, you guys scared my kids off. And then, he starts doing his super thing. Well, you should tell them to ask and blah, blah, and come and ask. And I said, Sheikh Hamdi, Jazak Allahu Khair, they are my kids. And of course they asked. They don't know you. Who do you think they're going to ask? They know Baba studied, right? Who do you think they're going to ask? They asked me. So I told them, yes, this is an innovation. Yes, this is like this. Yes, this is like that. Right? And we started talking. Right? And you know what this man told me? Wallahi Azim, he said this. He said, you can't be Wahhabi. You can't be Wahhabi. No, you're not Wahhabi. You don't have a Wahhabi heart. And there's two ways you can take this when he's saying this. The first way is he's trying to slight me. He's trying to get me angry because he's saying Wahhabi, Wahhabi all the time in front of everybody. Even it got to the point where people started recording this conversation because they couldn't believe it. Like a Salafi came in here with good manners. They couldn't believe that. And he said, he told me you have good manners not because of your Wahhabi religion. You have good manners because your mother raised you right. This is what he told me. So imagine that. Every single Salafi this man meets, he studied in Yemen, right? Every single Salafi he met in his life has given him bad manners, right? All the Salafis that these people have met have come to them with bad manners. That's how they see us. And the Prophet ﷺ, name one person in his life. One, you call yourself Salafi. Our number one Salaf is the Prophet ﷺ. Name one person in his entire life ever that said the Prophet ﷺ ever had bad manners. Name one. You think we don't know what we're talking about, and we do. We're advising you for the sake of Allah. I wasn't the first person to say, don't seek knowledge from Abu Khadija. You know how that hurts me, bro? You know how I looked up to Abu Khadija? You know how all of us looked up to Abu Khadija, Akhi? Just because you became Salafi yesterday doesn't mean there are people that became Salafi before you and have experience and know what happened and have history and have done exactly what you're doing. And you are literally dividing thousands of youth, thousands, so you can hold on to your reputation. Is it worth it? Because Allah will ask you. Allah will ask you. Ali Dawah, what did you say he was? Ikhwani. Muhammad Hijab, Ikhwani. And now Hajji. Hajji is, whatchamacallit, Khariji. Even still, Hajji, his belief, even if you believe he's Khariji, it was hidden. Nobody knew it until you brought it up. Ali Dawah and Muhammad Hijab, up until now, up until this day, you have not brought your proof to say to show that they're Ikhwani. The only thing you said is that they sit with the people of Bid'ah. Okay. What about you? Every single week in Speaker's Corner, who are you sitting with? Where's your akhlaq? You have to think. You have to think. Is this good for the Muslims or not? And even still, at the end of the day, you do not have Salaf with you to make these refutations. Not you, not Dawah man, and you don't have Salaf with you. Who are the ulama refuting Hajji? Who are the ulama refuting Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawah? Where are they? Right? If you believe this, go after their heads, go after their shuyukh. And if you really saw them as brothers, if their belief is hidden and nobody knows, take them aside and give them dawah. So what? 4 years. Big deal. Big deal. Look at Iqra ibn Abi Jahl. For almost 20 years straight, he was giving the Messenger of Allah ﷺ headaches. He was one of the people that the Prophet ﷺ mentioned by name to have him killed when he went back to to Mecca, when he conquered Mecca. By name, he mentioned Ikramah. So what? And even still after all that, he accepted his Islam. When he became Muslim, he forgave him. You know? The ird, ya akhi. The ird. كل مسلم على مسلم حرام. دمه وإرده وماله. And I'm going to leave you with that, inshallah. Excuse me if I got emotional, but wallahi, you are splitting the Muslims. You're splitting them. And for no reason. Don't think anything that you're doing is original. It's not. Just because you found out about Jarh wa Ta'deel doesn't mean that we don't know about Jarh wa Ta'deel. Listen to the ulama. Don't get involved in this. We've seen it before. And if you're really Salafi, then you would take the advice of Shaykh Wasi Allah Abbas. He's from the Kibar ulama. He's not a rinky dink. Okay? He's not chump change. Okay? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك واشهد ان لا اله الا انت واستغفرك واتوب اليك.
That was pretty good. I heard like everything.
Yeah.
What the heck's going on? How did I even start?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, ya akhwan. First of all, I want to apologize for, and I know I got a little bit emotional, but it was emotion with like good intentions for all the youth, all the Muslims in general. And the reason why I wanted to add something before I upload this video. And that is years ago, before any of you became Salafi, talking to Shamsi, Hajji, and Dawah, right? There was a conference. It was called Stop the Discord Conference. And this was at the time when Abu Uwais rahimahullah, when he was alive. And this was around the time when the big fitna was popping off with Abu Hassan al-Ma'ribi. But anyway, Abu Uwais rahimahullah, he would never ever speak about anybody when he was alive before an alim spoke. He wouldn't do it. And that was the position of the du'at when he was alive, rahimahullah. You rarely, like if ever, find any of the du'at speaking about somebody before an alim did it. Now, anybody can speak about anybody. Anybody can speak about anybody. And we're living in an age of information where information is readily available and anybody can go on their phones and pick up any book from any alim and just quote. And we don't know the effects of too much information. We're finding out. And this is a part of the prophecy of the Prophet ﷺ when he said that you will find the people taking the youth as their leaders, and they'll lead themselves astray and others astray. And you brothers are actually fulfilling this prophecy. You're the fulfillment of it. You can't see it, but you are. An alim is somebody who has sat for many, many years in front of other ulama to study. And the vast majority of ulama never even touch the Jarh wa Ta'deel. It takes special people to do it because they know they're about to do something that is extremely dangerous in the sight of Allah. And it's not to be taken lightly. And not only that, it's one thing to make a refutation. It's a completely different monster, a completely different animal when you're dividing the Muslims over issues which are petty. Khuruj in itself, we all three of you have said that khuruj is haram. All three of you have said it. And when you're talking to your brother, you have to talk to him as a brother. You have to talk to him like you would talk to yourself. Love for your brother what you love for yourself. Would you talk to yourself the way that you talk to your other brothers? And I want to leave you with this because I really don't want to go too long with this. It's just like I wanted to tell you about that conference back in the day. That was so long ago, so long ago. We were doing all that you guys are doing now. Everything. It's like history repeating itself. Allah have mercy on us. Ameen. Allah have mercy on us. Ameen. Ya Rab. Allah have mercy on us. Ameen. But I leave you with this. When I was talking to those Sufis, as I mentioned earlier, I told them that, in my opinion, they are making bid'ah. And I told them in such a respectful way that none of them got offended. Not a single one of them. They were, and the whole masjid was listening to my conversation. This was the first time I ever talked to that Sheikh, Sheikh Hamdi, right there, Sheikh. The first time, right? He went on vacation somewhere. He came back for Ramadan, right? I never met him before. I just moved to this area, so I never knew who he was. So I met him that first on Ramadan with my kids, and this is actually the first time we actually had a conversation, and he respected me. You have to make the people respect you. Don't let the people say that you have bad manners, because you're not just representing yourself. You're representing Islam. You're representing the Dawah. And us the Salafis, we've been blessed with this manhaj. And just because you've been blessed with something doesn't mean that, Allah will keep you on it if you don't appreciate it. If you don't appreciate it, believe me, He'll take it away from you. And that's, what happened with the brothers at these centers like spubs and whatnot. Now they're being called Sa'afika. It's not me. I'm not the first person to say it. Muhammad al-Medkali is the one who coined it for them. It's not me. If you're following the ulama, follow the ulama then. I had a lot. I came from that tree. But at the same time, my religion is for Allah. My Mawla, and my Mawla is the Prophet ﷺ. He's my Nabi. And my understanding is the understanding of the Salaf Salih. And I never, in my life, ever even heard of any Sahaba ever get accused of being bad-mannered. So why is that every single time I go out, people look at me with suspicion right away, immediately, when I say I'm Salafi? One time I was talking to a brother in that same masjid at a different time, and he said to me, because I would pray the Asr, right? And he said, after I finished praying, he said, "You didn't make an iqamah." I said, "It's not wajib." He said, "No, you have to make a iqamah." I said, "Okay, no problem, brother. Do you have the proof for it?" He says, "No, he doesn't have proof." And then he asked another brother there, right? I never met this brother, right? But this brother, right away, you know what the first thing he said to me is? He goes, "Look, you don't need to argue in a masjid. I know you're Salafi, blah, 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 blah." I wasn't arguing. Wallah, I wasn't arguing. And I looked at him like, but that's what they think of us. That is what they think of us because of this. Everywhere we go. And people leave Salafiyah, and people even leave Islam because of this brand of da'wah. I've seen it with my own eyes. So, at the end of the day, that's my advice. And it was coming straight from the heart and for the sake of Allah, with no bad intention or ill will. And if you take it, alhamdulillah, all praise is due to Allah, and Allah bless you. And if you don't, alhamdulillah, all praise is due to Allah, Allah bless you. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyyina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam tasliman kathira.